Well guys, got a bit of a video here for y'all. Well, after a long day at work, you come home, of course, and you're kind of hungry. Now, you don't want to really eat out in fast food. You don't feel like ordering in anything for delivery. So of course, last thing you really want to do is go out and have to hunt something up, cook it and clean it, and have supper that way. So instead you raid the cupboard, and pretty much this is what you come up with. We got some hamburgers that we picked up from our trip to the Costco last month, as well as some mushroom and mushroom soup from the wonderful grocery store that we picked up on our grocery trip a while ago. And of course, you guessed her, we have our wonderful frying pan over here. So what I'm planning on doing here is frying up the hamburger, adding the mushroom soup and mushrooms, and making ourselves kind of but I'm not sure what to call it, but whatever it is, it's going to be hot and you're going to be able to eat it, and it's better than eating out in fast food. So guys, pretty much you start by throwing the heat on underneath the frying pan. And then pretty much what you're going to want to do is start adding the hamburger patties to the frying pan itself. There's no real wrong way to do it, as long as you don't burn yourself and you remember to take off the paper. Now of course, you're probably going to wonder why I've got 6 patties in here when obviously the pan's not going to hold all 6. Well, they do shrink down a bit, and it will give me enough room once they, account for shrinkage. So guys, I'll throw you on the tripod there with some Arcane Fire and Ice music, and we'll let these babies cook. Well guys, just got them the first flip here. They're coming along quite nicely. Normally I would do these on a barbecue and have, buns and all that fancy stuff. But this way it pretty much works out the same, and then you can have mushroom and mushroom soup with them. Just in case you're wondering, yeah, no, they're not cooked yet by far. They're probably not even unthawed yet in the middle. So we'll let these things cook a little while longer, and see you on the next time we flip them. guys, there you go. Got all of them turned again for a second time. Now you see how all 6 patties are now in the frying pan. Yeah, they probably shrink by an inch or so down, and which allows all to get them in, right? Pretty much, if you will, they probably shrunk in half in size-wise. But yeah, I'll give them a little more cook because obviously they're not done yet. Anytime now, if you want, you can open up your cans of soup and cans of mushrooms just so they're open and ready to go. Because the next step will be dumping the mushrooms into the pan to let them cook. So guys, now that the burgers are pretty much cooked, we'll remove them from the frying pan. And yeah, we'll set them aside. Because yeah, now we want it to cook our mushrooms. So we can dump our mushrooms into the pan here. Now this is where you can add your favorite spices or seasoning, whatever you want to add. And of course using the oil or grease that come off the burgers, which will fry up the mushrooms quite nicely. Throw the lid on them and pretty much let them cook. So here we go, guys. So guys, just in case I didn't mention it earlier, of course, when you open your can of mushrooms, you will find like water or liquid inside of it. Drain all that liquid out. Normally you will find liquid inside of a can of mushrooms, unless you're using fresh mushrooms where you have to like cut them yourself. That's what you're going to find. So once you have the mushrooms and stuff all cooked and all that, then you can start adding your mushroom soup. So what I like to do is I like to add 1 can. Get it out of the can. And then what I like to do is add about a can of water. Now what I've done is I've put half a can of water in each can of mushroom soup and dump it all in. Now of course it's easier to add more water to the mix than what it is to take water out of it. So pretty much we'll give it a good old stir here, and it will thicken up as it gets hotter, right? So we'll let this cook a bit, kind of warm up. You'll see it start to boil just like it would if you're making soup on the stove. Once it starts to boil, we can add our hamburger patties back into it. Well guys, as you see there, she is boiling. We have given it a stir. Everything's good, so we can add our burgers back into the mushroom mix. Pretty much like that. Now basically all you're doing is, one, you're re-warming up the burgers. You're sort of are, if you will, finishing cooking the burgers if they weren't fully cooked to begin with. And you're allowing the mushroom and seasoning and stuff to kind of mingle with each other, as well as the flavorings that are in the burgers. So of course we'll let her cook a little bit, stirring occasionally, and then she'll be pretty much good to go. Well guys, just checking in on our supper here. Of course, pulling the lid off, you see how the burgers are now coated, I guess, with the mushroom soup mixture. Just giving everything a stir and a flip, getting everything, making sure everything's good. So guys, when she's pretty much cooked to your liking, of course, shut the heat off, remove from the burner, and pretty much we'll uncover her, and we'll just let her kind of cool slightly, and it will thicken. Not thicken a lot, but thicken enough that, you know, it's more of a gravy than over a soup mix, as well as by letting it kind of cook for that extra minute, kind of boil a bit. As you see here, the mushroom soup has darkened, kind of like absorbing, you know, the flavors of the pan, of the burgers, of the mushrooms. So again guys, we'll let that cool a bit, and then pretty much she's good to serve. Well guys, here we go. She has sat now for probably 5-10 minutes. The soup or gravy or whatever you want to call it mix has thickened enough. Just giving her a final stir here just to make sure, and then she's pretty much you know, good for servings. Now guys, of course, I'm not going to eat this all myself, obviously. There's enough here for like 4 people by far. Depends on how hungry you are, maybe 5. Well guys, just to give you a recap, we fried up our hamburger patties, pretty much cooking them completely. Removed them from the frying pan. We added our canned mushrooms, of course after they were drained, and cooked them. Then we added our mushroom soup, and after that pretty much came to a boil and we were confident that it was warm enough. We added our hamburgers back into the mixture. Let that kind of commingle a bit and get all you know, flavorified, and pretty much there you go. Let her cool down for a bit, and then she's good for the serving. But yeah guys, thanks for watching this little cooking video here, and just to give you guys an idea of what to cook on those days when you're, you know, come home from work and you really don't want to order out or eat fast food. You know, leave your comment below on what you guys like to eat after work or for supper, or on those days where you're just tired and don't feel like even cooking anything. If you like to order stuff in, leave your comment below on that. So as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.